Welcome back. You're watching your regional news wrap. The kids are back in school, and that means drivers should be paying more attention to the 30-kilometer speed zones around school property.
It's time for all of us to kickstart ourselves into remembering that school zones are in effect and our youngsters are out there.
The RCMP say parents should make sure their kids know and are obeying all the pedestrian rules as well. The police are going to be taking enforcement on these zones very seriously. Moving to a slightly higher level of education now. For the first time ever, Lakeland College's Lloydminster residence is completely full, but not all the students have a place to live.
It's really difficult to get in anywhere right now, so I can see a lot of students being a little worried and panicked right now.
Well, that same warm weather has created issues on the ice surface at the Service Sports Center. The problem lies in the cooling system that's supposed to freeze the glycol coils under the ice.
What's happening is that glycol that's flowing through the tubing is not getting to the right temperature. It's staying too warm. So when the water goes on top of the concrete, we don't get a freezing.
It's been a problem since the inception of the facility 5 years ago, and they're getting engineers to come in for an assessment. Coleman predicts a solid fix might not happen until next spring, but for now the good news is they're starting to build the ice on one of the rinks. I can't believe we're talking about ice already. Residents at the Pioneer Lodge retirement home in Lloydminster are celebrating a new addition. The lodge has officially opened their first ever chapel. Officials say they recognize the need for a room like this after an emotional encounter with a resident.
Shortly after I started work here, one of our residents had their son pass unexpectedly, and I had to go and break that news to her in her room. And I had no place to take her so that she felt a sanctuary.
The chapel provides space for services for the lodge's 139 residents, many of whom donated their own money to support the cause. Well, the Lloydminster's In Motion Committee has been recognized for their efforts this week. They were presented the Community Recognition Award for the work they do to promote health and fitness.
You know, we've been running for around 5 years in the community, so it just shows that we are finally getting a little bit more awareness in the community, and people are becoming aware of who we are and what we represent.
The Border City Petting Zoo threw open its doors this week for Customer Appreciation Day. The King of the Jungle was hands down the favorite, but there are various other creatures of all sizes that gained some admirers. The owners say the zoo has been doing brisk business this season.
For the most part, yeah, everybody seems so far to be quite happy with the zoo the way it is.
A new barn and blacksmith shop is being added to the zoo next year. Looks like it's set to get bigger and better. That is what you missed in regional news this week. After the break, we'll hear from the SPCA. They need your help to get back on their feet after a devastating storm blew their building over. That's next on Around the Region.